What up, guys? It's me, Ship History. We're back today, and so I want to wish out to all my viewers, all my subscribers. I wish you guys. I hope you guys had a very good Christmas. So did I. Spend time with family. But we're not here to talk about that. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how. You ready? We're here to talk about the recap. Yeah. So, uh, it's sad. I know it's sad, but we're talking about how officers, how things start getting hectic, so they had to pull out the guns and start firing shots. I know it's sad, and how people died from jumping to the bone, breaking their ribs, and dying. I mean, it's sad. Don't get me wrong, it's sad, but yeah, yeah. There's no other words, so like we do always. Let's hold a moment of peace. Alright, thank you. Now let's get into today's video. It's 1:33 a.m. Things are getting really hectic on the Titanic because the bow is sinking so far. The bow is right here. It's going under really fast, and people are starting to notice it. See, bow, it's starting to sink. It's getting up to now. Let's say, you know where the big cranes are? It's starting to get up to there. Things are getting bad. They're realizing the ship's gonna sink, and now children are having to leave, like their fathers are forcing them, like picking them up, and officers are picking children up and putting in the boats. And guess what? Here's the messed up part. People are like, will you hold the boat a minute? I just have to go get, and I'm like, officers will get mad, like, sit down. And so, yeah. And by now, the steam has stopped from the funnels. That's good, because now you can hear. But people are yelling and screaming, and now I'm just yammering out. But here, so we're gonna start after uh when we were talking about the boats. So after people were still jumping in boats, some people actually smartened up and actually just jumped on the ropes and slid down. So let's see. Rope. Imagine this is rope, and let me find something. This is you. This is you, and you jump down. It will still give you rope burn, but it's a better way to get down. And so let's see. You know how I said they had to bust shots in the air? So Murdoch isn't having to bust any shots. People are still trying to like push and move in, try to shove people out the way. I know it's scary and it's wrong because Murdoch is trying to get women and children and maybe some men into the boats before he lets full men on. And that's reasonable, but at a certain point, he couldn't do it anymore. Like, cause there's a certain degree when you can hold a crowd by gun or just shout and push them back. But we'll get into what when you cannot get to that degree. All right. So like I said, it's 1:30. Things are getting really hectic. Officer Lightola, Officer Moody's on a boat. He's getting lowered. The men are pushing and shoving, and they have to bust a few shots. Like, I mean, and the men, like, they were for first and second class that were trying to get into the boat. And, like, yeah, and right then, people were in the grand staircase. They were hectic, and men, like, were asking, like, mostly waiters and met. and the men who clean the rooms out and stuff were asking, "Do you want a light bell?" And like men all through the sink were like, "No, we are dressed in our best and ready to go down like gentlemen," which is the fair thing to do. But like, mm, also like taller, he was under a lot of stress, and that's where I'm really start to, cause now let's skip ahead, cause through the 130, 131, etc., etc., around 140, 141. Now that's when things like amp up. Like it was like here, here, here. Now it's up to here. And Officer Lighthauler literally had to start. It's getting bad. It's like where they're trying to lower a few lifeboats. They actually started after hitting passengers with like what do you call it? Like with um. Let's say this is like the rudder, the stick that holds it. They had to start grabbing those and just started beating men to get back. And yes, and it's getting up to the point where officers cannot hold the men back. Like they're trying everything. They bust shots, and they still have to continue busting shots. You see how that's a problem? Yes, I know it's a problem, but at a certain point, including from my advice, how much can you do? Like, how much can you do before you get to a certain point where you just start shooting people? Because that's where I was getting to the step. Like, hitting men and pushing them, even busting shots in the air, weren't getting back. Weren't getting them back. And it's sad, I know. But if you look at it, I know you guys see all Charles Lightoller as like some of you look at him like an evil person, but he did save lives. I mean, if you look at it from his perspective, he thought like the cabin meant only women and children because the boats could only hold a certain amount, and men are heavy. Like me, I weigh 140 pounds. Imagine how much me in a whole boat. Imagine a whole bunch of me's in that boat. Probably two more over the capacity would probably break those ropes and we would all be dead in the freezing cold water. I mean, it's hard to believe, but it's true. You gotta admit, it's true. And I know. So, we gotten past the hectic part of Charles Lightoller, how he's just now trying to. Now he's about to shoot people because they won't get back. This is actually a straight fact, people. If you go, please, guys, go comment down in the link in the description. Go subscribe to Historic Travels. He's my inspiration. But yeah, he's the one that actually pointed out like how much like officers were under stress where they started almost shooting people to get back. Like they actually had to like threaten them, like raise their voice, like saying in the James Cameron movie, "Get back, I'll shoot you all like dogs." And he was trying to yell, "Keep order, keep order." But that only worked for a few minutes. After that, it's back to boom, boom. So it's 150. The bow's going under. The fur, the promenade deck is going. It's about to go under. All right, promenade deck. That's like right under A deck. A, promenade deck. Yeah, that's right below the boat deck. And so that's about to go under. People are running. And here's a fun fact. Well, not fun. It's kind of scary. But two men actually were brave enough. Right as it was about to go under, they stepped and got in a boat through those big open windows right before you walk into the deck. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. But now we moved to Officer Murdoch. First Officer Murdoch. He just Now they got all the boats launched. Well, actually, no, not all. They technically have three because Charles Lightoller, by that time, he was lowering this last boat. You know, the ones right up here besides those big blocks that you look out onto the sides of the ship. Yeah, he had one boat right there. It only took him around 20 minutes to get it lowered. Okay, and on Officer Murdoch's side, he he has to push it. So let me draw this out for you. Let me draw this out for you. Sorry guys, I took a minute. So you see how? Oh, let me see. So you see how that's like all the men. Murdoch had to get up. They had to pull like fences out, and they had to unravel the boat. Then they got a few. They took the oars out of the boat, put them under. They put them under like on the officer quarter sides, and they pushed it. But then it broke, and it was like right here. And here's another example, alright? So this is the boat, and they have to crank the davits way back in, and they have to try to hook them up. So they do that, but they only get like I think it was only one. Yeah, they only got one, and man, he was like Murdoch was telling like, man, get back, and in the James Cameron movie, you see Hockley, he was like, I thought we had a deal, man. And he was like, your money can't save you more than it can save me. And he was like, get back. And men were pushing men, and it's not. This is like only a rumor. We don't know if this is accurate because so many eyewitness accounts and men said Murdoch was too much of an honorable man to shoot himself, but he actually shot two men, and then he put the gun to his head and blew his head off, and that's when the bridge is about to go under. Well, the bridge wing is about to go over, and that's when eyewitness accounts saw J Thomas Andrews and Jay Bruce's not Jay Bruce Captain Smith jump off the bridge wing, and Murdoch puts a gun to his head, shoots himself, and it's sad. But then you got second officer Charles Lightoff. They pushed the boat off. They pushed the boat off the officer quarters, and it flipped. So they're trying to get it flipped over and get it like turned over, but then it's sad. Some Actually, that's how some people got in the water. Also, it's because finally the bridge goes over under, and like the chief officer Henry Wild, just to make sure, let's just call him chief officer. He like in the James Cameron movie was like telling people, "There's no time. Come if you have to." And what he's referring to that is like the six big ropes, and the men were cutting them with pocket knives to get them all like cut. Oh yeah, and I bet you guys are wondering what I'm thinking. Why didn't they also did that when the two boats were about to crash on top of each other? I didn't want to get that part because like I didn't want to mention that because like I know I want to mention the full story, but that's too sad. Like I even cried in the movie. Like, oh my god, that's like horrifying to see. And so I know, but you guys already know that stuff. I don't need to go over with you. I think I mentioned too in one of my previous videos. All right. So let's see. So they're cutting them, and people are getting the boats, trying to crawl into the boats. They're trying to keep as many out because it's gonna swamp if they let even more in. So the two boats get washed off. More people got on the capsized boat than the than the upside boat because, well, let's see. No one wanted to get into that boat because it was flooded. It was like, it was right. See my foot? See my foot? It was up to here, ankle deep. And it was gonna give frostbite on their foot. So, no, that's why I think there was only 20 to 15 people in that boat. And there was around 30 on the capsized boat. So, it's nine thirty. No, it's not 9, sorry. It's 2, around 2:15. Uh, it sinks around 2:20, but 2:15, the bridge and the officer quarters is getting washed over. The first funnel's collapsing. The second funnel waits until it collapses, till like it's half underwater. The grand staircase, this grand staircase dome, it implodes. And what implode means, it means it just caves in and it breaks. So it caved in and it broke because the glass just caved in and broke. And so that's how so many people die, because they were drowning for their lives. They were trying to run, but they couldn't because with the amount of water that was flooding in and with the water that was pouring in into the grand staircase dome, there's no chance. I mean, like, it's sad, but it's true. There's no chance of them getting out. So on the dead list, I'm sorry, this may sound like a douche thing to say, but on the dead list, that's half of the dead. And so it's now 9:17. People are running for the stern. They're getting on to whatever they can. They're holding on for dear life to anything. And so they're trying to hold on. A lot of people couldn't. That's the sad thing. So many people just went over the railing. Actually, not that many. Only a few smart people were. Like the chief chef, he got so drunk. Like, I'm gonna make that on my next video next. But he got so drunk he survived, but he got under it, and so yeah, it's sad. But that really didn't help you, because you know why? Because I think, yeah, it would suck you down a little bit, but not that much, but still, it would suck you down for a pretty good moment, and then you could go back up. But yeah, people are holding on for dear life. Like, I mean dear life, crying, screaming. And so, yeah, they grabbed on benches and stuff. And yeah, it's sad. And then 2:19. Well, no, actually 2:18 in the morning. Titanic just. I think it's 2:18. Correct me. I don't have the best memory. I'm trying to correct my times. But Titanic. Imagine this. This snaps, falls back. It sits there for a moment, then rises up, rises up, rises up, and bobs there for a minute, and then goes down. And 2:20, Titanic is sinking to the bottom floor. I mean, it's sad. And I don't know. I don't think I remember this, but I can remember a time like around when everybody died, but I can't remember right now. So apologize. I'm gonna make a timeline video, but I can't remember it. But 20 minutes after that, everyone's dead. They only collected 5 people, and that was lucky enough that they could get aboard or something, buoyance their body up, so their upper half would be in the water. I mean, it's crazy. And, like, let's see. 4 to 5 a.m. in the morning, Carpathia picks all the survivors up. They go to New York, drops them off. Officers get sent back to Belfast. And they had to redo safety features on Olympic and the new ship Britannic. Alright? I'm gonna make a timeline video next. Well, actually, I gotta do that Chief Chef video. Then I'm gonna do the timeline and give you it's not gonna be with me talking. I'm gonna have some dialogue in it, but it's mostly gonna be a timeline on it, and I'm just gonna make a clips of it. It's gonna go on for around 5 minutes. All right, so let's do this for extra since the holidays. Let's hold another moment of silence for the dead. Alright, it's ship history. Remember, subscribe, comment the link in the description. I'll see you guys in the sea and subscribe to Star Travels. Bye.